Hello everyone, this is Professor Irwin with instructions for an asynchronous day on Wednesday, September the 3rd. So if you're unfamiliar at this point, I assume everybody is, but just to be safe, if you're unfamiliar with the term asynchronous, it means we will not be meeting. As I mentioned in class last week, I have a doctor's appointment that I cannot reschedule. So we will not be meeting, but you have an assignment to do instead. So this video will go over that assignment. Before we get to the assignment, a quick note on the business letter template and the memo template. If you came into the class late, because of the late drop period, add drop period, it's not late one yet, but I digress. If you did not complete either of those because of that or the course intro, I will still take them until Wednesday night. If you did complete them, but you received less than the full 3 out of 3 grade, you can fix them based on my comments and resubmit them to earn that 3 out of 3. So make sure you review the samples that are posted in the instructional materials module on Canvas. And for those of you who were in class were aware, those of you who weren't, were not obviously, basically it should look like the sample, but it should have some personalized content. So replacing names in the to from information, replacing perhaps the subject line, changing the bullet points, the content of those, changing some of the content. You don't have to change every word or anything, but some of it. So it looks like you actually didn't just resubmit the sample. One of the things that happened, we went over this in class, is that if you simply download or copying and pasting from the samples, chances are it's going to mess up some of the formatting issues. So make sure that you get it looking exactly like those samples. The MLA document formatting video that is in the announcements, that will help as well as far as basic document formatting, like making sure everything's single-spaced, margins are correct, and all of that. So, again, if you have anything less than a 3 out of 3, you can either fix or complete those assignments until Wednesday night. Course intro assignment, the only people who were missing that were ones who came in like Thursday, Friday, something like that. So make sure you get that done. But again, they all have to be done by 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday, September 3rd. Now, the assignment that is due in lieu of class on the 3rd is the BCP, meaning Business Correspondences Project, Audience Analysis. So, for those of you who were in class Friday, we worked on the first one of those in class, the first scenario. So, for this assignment, you're going to look at the 3 scenarios. You're going to write a memo to me. So that memo template that you were to create, once you have that taken care of, you can use that as the template. But then section headers for each one of the scenarios, scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3. And in each one of those, 1 to 2 paragraphs answering the 3 questions and, sub-questions within each one of those numerical questions, and the assignment prompt. For those of you who were not in class on Friday, for scenario 1, we looked at things like, the lesson that day, part of it was listen to 2 songs. So watch 2 music videos to listen to the songs for them. It's the same exact song, even the musical arrangement was similar, but 2 different performers. Slight difference with instrumentation as well, but they had different audiences. So the choices that were made changed the theme just because of that. And we looked at things related to that, why and how specifically. So for those of you who weren't there, if you want to look at those, it was 9 Inch Nails' version of the song Hurt and Johnny Cash's version of the song Hurt. Okay, so for the scenario 1, what we went over in class was fairly simple as far as the concepts behind it. You have to understand your audience so you can tailor your message to them. This is how you understand the audience. The scenarios give you who it is to and who it is from, so it gives you your role. So for scenario 1, for example, you're the president of Newpex Consulting Firm. It doesn't tell you what kind of consulting firm it is, and the issue is a paid time off policy change. So the first thing you have to do is determine if it's positive, neutral, negative, or if you're going to have to be persuasive. So with all the scenarios, if you are not given enough information, you can add information to it. You can't change anything, but you can add to it. So, for example, you're president of Newpex Consulting Firm. The one part of that prompt talks about a $350 per day reimbursement for PTO that's not used. Is that more or less than the employees would make in the average day? Figuring out what kind of consulting would inform that decision more. So you're trying to make the most informed decision you can. The audience is going to be the entire workforce for that particular scenario. However, some people are not going to be affected by it. Some people are going to be affected to it. So they're going to have two different reactions. Your goal for all of these scenarios is to have a positive reaction from the messaging. If it's a neutral message, that's the one that's different, so that could be a neutral response. It's like, okay, that's the policy change, so that's fine. So again, is it positive news? Is it negative news? Are you going to have to be persuasive at all? When we come back to class on Friday, we'll talk about how you actually build the message for the individual scenarios based on your audience analysis, but the audience analysis is first. So again, try to figure out how every member of, in that case, the workforce, the other scenarios, each member of the audience would react to it. If there are multiple members of the audience, multiple groups within that audience, then chances are they're going to have different reactions. You have to take that into consideration. It's kind of like teaching in some ways. You have the students who already know the information, those who do not know the information at all, and then there's some that are in between. What is your approach to that? So you need to figure this stuff out now so we can build on that Friday to complete the rough drafts that are due for Sunday night. If you do have any questions, send me an email. I will not be available via email on Wednesday, maybe a little bit at fairly late at night. But Thursday I will be. Thursday afternoon, I should say. So I can reply then. If you do have questions, even though that's after the deadline, get the assignment in. I will be available tonight as well. But if you wait until tomorrow, that's when it gets dicey. Okay, so work on those. Again, that is in lieu of class. If you have any questions, send me an email. I will reply as soon as I can. And then I will see you in person on Friday.